hello there. The Love Doctor is back in the house. As you know, I get a lot of questions of the heart in my mailbag, and I give advice, but very often I feel as though I'm preaching to the choir. If you are writing into my mailbag, you are already you're moving in the right direction when it comes to questions of love. I feel that we need to reach those poor lost souls while they are still lost. And where are those lost souls to be found? They are to be found on Reddit. My producers have given me 4 case files here of questions of love, relationship advice that they need. Let us begin. This is brought to you by ExpressVPN. More from ExpressVPN later. First, the first case. My boyfriend is a furry and I don't like it. We're really starting out really strong. Before I meet my boyfriend, I absolutely hated furries and found them weird. Me and my friends would joke about them and we'd laugh at all the memes about them too. When my boyfriend told me he was a furry, I wanted to break up with him right then and there. Very ironic, I know. Why is that ironic? That's not ironic.
And isn't it ironic?
Alanis Morissette has had absolutely disastrous consequences for the English language. That's a digression. But before I found out, I thought he was cute, funny, and so sweet. He still is. It's just when I found out, it ruined everything. He told me about his fursona. That's a good pun. And how he was a fox and he wants a tail. I actually believe he's delusional. Oh, you don't say. Don't get me wrong, I really like him. But it's just this furry, S-H-I-T, I don't F-U-C-K with. It's to the point I want to tell him, but I don't know what to say or how to put it. Okay, well, I have some advice, but first, let's get to the advice of the other people on Reddit. First person says, as much as I don't understand the furry community either, I don't make fun of them, nor do I feel they should change. So I say leave him because it's unfair if you want him to change, because that makes him happy. That is the exact opposite of good advice. I don't understand the furry stuff. Okay, fair enough. I think you should leave him because he shouldn't change. You don't necessarily need to leave him, but he does need to change because the furry stuff makes him happy. It doesn't really make him happy. Second advice, it shouldn't, because people like you have baseless prejudices about it that need to be fixed before they're triggered into knee-jerk reactions. You prove to someone your kindness, your confidence, you demonstrate your skills, your assets and passions, and then you show, hey, I have aspects that you might have been prejudiced about, but guess what? None of those stereotypes are true. They're all just more BS made up by insecure conformists who want to dump hate on anyone who's different, same as it ever was. Who's saying none of those stereotypes are true. That's the heart of this advice. You know, you meet someone and then you get to know them and then you find out they've got some weird perversion like the furry thing, and then you find out,
wow, none of the stereotypes were true.
The stereotypes are true. The furry is perverted. He has this perversion. Everybody, to some degree, has some kind of perversion, not necessarily sexual, but something is a little off, something is a little twisted, because this is a fallen world. So that's true. We ought to be understanding of all of that. That doesn't mean the perversion is good. It doesn't mean the perversion ought to be celebrated. None of those stereotypes are true. What are you talking? All stereotypes are true. All stereotypes are true. That's why they're stereotypes. Doesn't mean we have to be mean to everybody. We shouldn't be mean to people, but we need to be honest. Poor guy. Poor furries too. He's just being himself and enjoying what he enjoys. I think it's a little petty of you to have such a visceral reaction to it. It's like if you were a really big fan of like Glee or some SHIT and your boyfriend was instantly turned off and now hated you. No, it's a little different because while Glee might be a sort of trite show and you might not enjoy it, it's not a perversion of sex, which is going to be very important if you have a relationship with someone and if you get married. So what's the real advice? Your boyfriend has this perversion. He's probably a little bit embarrassed by it, though not enough embarrassed by it to keep his mouth shut and just not talk about it. And you find it weird, as you should, because it's extremely weird. I don't think you necessarily need to dump your boyfriend, but he's got to cut it out with the furry stuff. You're not supposed to act on all your sexual desires. It's really weird because we live in this world of, you know, man, love is love. Do whatever you want. We're born this way. Yeah, man, whatever you... But no, that's not true. We're born with all sorts of desires that are disordered, and you should not indulge them. Our erotic desires can be really degrading and turn us into weird little furry people with tails on us who pretend to be foxes. Rather than denying your erotic desires, channel them in the right way. Okay, second case study. I found out my girlfriend is transgender and I feel kind of betrayed. How'd you find that out? How long did it take you to find that out? Me, male 17, and my girlfriend, female 17, are dating for over a month now. It's really hard with the transgender because I don't know what that means. Girlfriend, like, he's a gay guy and he thought he was dating a man, but he finds out now she's a girl, and so he's calling her the girlfriend. Or he's a dude who thought he was dating a girl, but he found out she's really a dude, but he's still calling her a girlfriend, female 17. We're dating over a month now. I met some of her friends and I like them a lot and we are going well together. When we started going out just as friends, she told me she was bisexual, which I didn't had a problem with and was totally okay with. When I was scrolling on Instagram, I accidentally found an account from my girlfriend's friend I met earlier and followed her. I was looking a bit on her account just out of curiosity, and I found a post where she drew a purple, pink, blue butterfly for my girlfriend, and in the description how she supports my girlfriend's bisexuality and transgender. So it's a dude. Oh no, and transgender, you know she wants to be a dude. Okay, so she is a chick, but she wants to be a dude. I saw her photos from early years before we started dating, and she was a girl, or he still is. Honestly, I'm so confused and I'm sorry, so that's how I concluded it. She didn't told me, and I understand that she or he is scared and everything, and I didn't still talk to her. I don't mean to be pedantic or mean or anything, but if you're going to post something on the internet or publish it anywhere, you should proofread it so that it's in even somewhat decipherable English. Talk to her about it, and I am scared if I say something wrong because I don't want to hurt her/him. I'm a straight dude, and it'd be weird for me to be in a relationship with someone who wants to be a guy. Yes, certainly. I'm so confused and don't know how to approach the talk and how to start it without sounding offensive. I feel kind of betrayed, but I understand that a lot of trans people are scared to speak of those things because they fear that they will be unaccepted and abandoned. I completely have understanding of being in gender roles, in transgender shoes. Sooner or later, we will have to talk about it, but I'm scared of hurting her/him, to be honest, and I feel really weird just thinking about it. Again, I don't have anything against the LGBTQ community. It's just that I don't know how to approach the situation. So, okay, I have lots of thoughts on this, but first, what's the advice from the peanut gallery? I would ask, before assuming anything, we aren't made of glass. It's more important to get things straight, pun not intended, I guess, than to use the precise right words. I would probably approach this by first showing them the butterfly. If they indeed are a trans boy, it was a bit of a move to start dating you in the first place. Lol. Best of luck. The problem here is the last line. I don't have anything against the LGBTQ community, it's just I don't know how to approach the situation. Right. You shouldn't have anything against people for being people. You should love all people, even people who are very confused, even people who do lots of bad things, even people who persecute you, perhaps especially those people. But as for the LGBTQ ideology, you should be very much against it because it doesn't make any sense, because it's a false anthropology and misunderstands human nature. What should you do? You should talk to your girlfriend about this. You should point out that your girlfriend is a girl. You should point out that girls cannot be boys and boys cannot be girls. You should point out that bisexuality is not really an identity that one properly should take on. I get it. She's a confused teenage girl. All of them say they're bisexual, but that's not a thing, okay? And regardless even of the sexual confusion that she's enduring, you should make clear to her that there are behaviors that are good and traditional and conducive to human flourishing, and she should pursue those behaviors, even if she has some weird desires or confusions and she's tempted in any way to shoot herself full of hormones and chop off her body parts. She should not do that because that is objectively wrong, no matter how much she wants to do it. The commenters obviously are giving absolutely terrible advice. Actually, the only really true part here, I would say, is people don't really get to choose their gender. Yeah, that's true. You're born with your sex, and your sex and your gender are the same thing. And if there's some confusion between your gender expression and your sex, you ought to bring them into alignment. So I don't think you need to feel betrayed, and you can have a great deal of sympathy for this poor girl who's confused like all teenage girls are, but especially these days because of the social contagion of this transgender insanity. You know, big tech is more powerful than most countries are. They profit by exploiting your personal data. It's time to put a layer of protection between your online activity and big tech. That's why I use ExpressVPN. Think about how much of your life is on the internet. Well, unfortunately, every website you visit, every video you watch, every message you send gets tracked and data mined. When you run ExpressVPN on your device, the software hides your IP address, something big tech can use to personally identify you. So ExpressVPN makes your activity harder to trace and sell to advertisers. ExpressVPN also encrypts 100% of your internet data to keep you safe from hackers and eavesdroppers on your network. What I like most about ExpressVPN is how simple it is to use. Download the app on your phone or computer, tap one button, and you are protected. ExpressVPN does all of this without slowing your connection. That's why it's rated the #1 VPN service by TechRadar, The Verge, and most importantly of all, Michael Knowles. Go to expressvpn.com/MichaelYT. Get 3 extra months for free. All right, let's get to number 3. Dating a Republican sugar daddy. So I'm a young woman, and like most young women, I'm liberal. My sugar daddy is... I like she says that casually. So my sugar daddy, okay, this is my boyfriend, this is my sugar daddy, is a Republican, and I'm so attracted to him. But sometimes he'll say things that annoy me. He'll make comments about being sick of COVID, which annoys me because he's barely affected by it. What's the big deal wearing a mask? I'm a nurse. I took care of COVID patients while having to reuse the same N95, and you're whining about wearing a cloth mask. Also, he complains about people not wanting to work and wanting government handouts. But he got a PPP loan, and that's a government handout. His business wasn't even struggling. He owns a mortgage lending company and made good refinance money during COVID. So yeah, I don't know what to do. He always makes these comments, and it's so annoying. I don't bring up anything. He does. First response, I mean, this isn't really a Republican issue, but a hypocritical man issue. How do we stop many guys from being hypocritical and annoying? I wish to have this answer as well. Second, I would suggest not talking about anything political ever and never discuss world problems. Just focus on the relationship. The relationship. He's her sugar daddy, but they're talking about the relationship. Same, all of my ongoing arrangements, they have treated service people well. All of my ongoing arrangements? That's the euphemism now if you're gonna prostitute yourself? Not my Johns, my ongoing arrangements. But whenever I buy food, etc., with money from sugaring, I give fat tips. And it feels like redistribution, lol. Is sugaring a verb now? So what should I do? Stop sugaring. The first problem is not that you have a little political incompatibility. The first problem is that you are prostituting yourself, and that's not good. It's not good for you. It's not good for the guy. It's just not good. Don't stop that. I don't mean to shame you. People make mistakes.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Stop prostituting yourself. Okay, that's the first part. Second part. My sugar daddy is a Republican, and I'm so attracted to him. But sometimes he'll say things that annoy me. You say the but there, like it's in contradiction. No. You find him attractive because he is a conservative man, and conservative men are more attractive, okay, than liberal soy boy beta cucks, okay? No woman actually wants to date a male feminist. Of course not, because male feminists are creepy and weird. So maybe that tells you something. Maybe it tells you that's really what your heart desires. The attraction you feel for the conservative man is not a kind of masochistic, you're a liberal and he's a conservative, but it's a natural, good desire because the conservative man is more likely to be virtuous and take care of you. This guy's probably not that virtuous because he's using prostitutes, but nevertheless, there's something there. There's at least everyone here is abusing themselves and other people, but there's a kernel of all of this that tells you what direction you're supposed to go in. So what should you do? You should dump the sugar daddy, stop prostituting yourself, find a good conservative man, start a family, have a good life. Final case. Oh no, speaking of cuckolds. Girlfriend of 3 years wants an open relationship and I do not. Too long didn't read. Girlfriend wants an open relationship but still wants to stay with me. She can't decide which one to pick due to temptations being too strong. My girlfriend and I, male, are both in our 20s. We've been dating for over 3 years. All of a sudden, she sits me down and asks if we can have intercourse with other people. I couldn't do that to myself and know it might be hard for her if she doesn't. This was a huge shock to me. I asked if there was any other underlying reason for wanting this. She was extremely honest and told me it is just because she's tempted to. We've had an extremely healthy relationship for the past 3 years and did not have any problems beforehand. Everyone knows we are planning to get married and even have promise rings for each other. Does she know that you're planning to get married? Maybe everyone does except for her because she's not behaving in a way that one would behave if one knew that she was about to get married. I originally asked if she would pick me or being with other people. She said she's unsure which she would pick. At one point, she had the idea of a break so she can do the things she wanted to and then get back with me. I would never want to even think about her with another person while being with me. I could not see myself having intercourse with someone else either. She said up until a couple weeks ago when she started thinking about it that she has felt the same way. She said though that she has made up her mind 100% and she wants to be with other people. I could really use advice from people who have been in my situation. I do not want the open relationship and love her more than anything. Please help me. Many thanks. First one, think of what you want. Just don't lie to yourself and then do it, but do it for yourself and no one else. Extremely stupid advice. Just live for yourself and only pursue your selfish pleasures. No, that's what the girl is doing. No, you should live for other people and ultimately for the highest good, who is God, and you should respect the moral order. This relationship lacks the most important thing in order to continue, which is satisfaction. That's not the most important thing. The most important thing would be fidelity. That's the thing that's lacking, is fidelity, because this girl is saying, I don't want fidelity. It's not that you always need to be sexually or emotionally satisfied in a relationship, because you won't be, because some night you're gonna have a fight. You're gonna disagree with one another, or you're gonna go through periods where you're not able to do that thing that married people do, whether it's because of medical reasons, I don't know, maybe she's giving, she gives birth, you're gonna have to wait a few weeks, okay? Or for what, maybe you're traveling. There are going to be moments when you're not gonna be satisfied in that. The thing that will keep the relationship going will be fidelity, faithfulness, which she doesn't wanna have. And then the third comment, this is great advice. I'm not gonna use the first word there because this is a family show, but sleep with her friends would be the advice. I guess it's probably the best advice of these three, though I'm damning with faint praise. Pal, I know you've had a hard conversation with her, and I'm gonna give you a harder conversation. She doesn't want an open relationship. She is not discussing this in the abstract. This happened 2 weeks ago because she met a specific person that she wants to sleep with. And that person's me. No, I'm joking. But I know that it's a specific person because these things don't just come out of nowhere. This didn't just pop into her mind out of nowhere. She's talking about a specific person. I've seen it in friends of mine who have done the open relationship thing, and the girl then is a much more valuable commodity usually than the guys, and it's like Biz Marquee, But you say he's just a friend. But he's not just a friend, okay? She wants to shut up that guy. I would throw her out of my house. I don't know how old you are. Delete her number, tell her to delete your number. Bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Enjoy the guy that you want to leave me for, but you want to keep me around in case it doesn't work out with the new guy. Bye. What a horrible, horrible woman. You should dump her real quick.
Just break up. Take my advice.
All right, that's our show. If you want more relationship advice, send me in the questions that you have. We'll see you next time.